So I just want to work out a few problems for you with these conics that are parabolas. So first of all, we've got two types of conics that we're looking at, or two types of parabolas that we're looking at now. We have those that open up or down, like this, and we have those that open left or right, like this. So what I want to do is I want to, first of all, look at those that open up and down, up or down. And those are characterized by the x part being squared. So, and they're going to have this general form right here. Notice that the parentheses with the x in it is what's being squared. That's where it's going to be opening up or down. So let's look at, here we've got the general form. X minus 8 squared equals 4p y minus k. Now, over here, I've put the three things that we're looking for. We're looking for the vertex, the directrix, D, and the focus, F. So if you want to find the vertex, it's going to be HK. From the parentheses with the x, only the opposite, you get the x coordinate. From the parentheses with the y, only the opposite, you get the y coordinate. Now, the directrix is going to be y equals the y coordinate minus the p. And the p in this case is 2. That's the directrix. And then the focus is going to be a point. It's going to be 3, 4 plus p, like that. So if you look at what this graph looks like, I'm just going to do a sketch here. So we've got this point 3, 4, which is the focus. Okay, 3, 4. We go up 2 units, so this is the point 3, 4. Okay, we go up 2 units, and we get 3, 6. So this is the point 3, 6. That's the focus. We go down 2 units, and we get the directrix. So here's the directrix, and it's y equals 2. So the parabola looks something like this. Okay. Okay, now this fits this form exactly. Now, down here, for this next one, it's a little bit different because if we want the vertex, there's nothing in there with the x, so we just have 0. There's nothing in there with the y, so it's 0. So this one has a vertex of 0, 0. So we can go from there. The directrix is going to be y equals -3. See, here's the p. And the focus is going to be 0, 3. See, I just add 3 to the x to the y coordinate, and then if we wanted to sketch this one, it's just going to be a parabola opening up. Up here is the 0, 3, and down here -3. Yeah, like that. So there's the directrix. Now, for this next one, look what we've got here. We've got the vertex, -2 and 5. See? You use the opposite values of what you see in the parentheses. The directrix, we've got y equals 5 minus, there's no 4 times anything here. Notice this is just 3. So what we do is we write this way. Whoops. We have to have 4 times something, and that something is our p. So what we can do is we can say, well, this is 3 over 4 times 4. In other words, I just multiply and divide by 4, and really I've done nothing. But you can see now that p is 3/4. Yeah, because 3 equals 4 times 3/4. Okay. So So I now can say, okay, 5 minus 3/4. See, that's the P. Okay? And remember, the directrix is K minus P. So it's always, if you don't have 4 times something, you can always divide and multiply, and then you'll have 4 times whatever. Okay, now the focus. The focus is going to be, we've got -2, it doesn't change, but we've got 5 plus 3/4. So we've got -2, 5. There's the vertex. 5 minus 3/4. That's the directrix. And then up here, we add 3/4. So this is -2, 5 plus 3/4. And you know we've got our parabola. Okay, now notice all of these were of this form right here. This next one is not of that form. We can't easily see what the vertex is. So what I have to do is I have to complete the square. Now, I notice this is one of those parabolas opening up or down because I've got the x part that's being squared. So I have to complete the square. So here I go. I've got x squared minus 4x minus 8y minus 20 equals 0. Okay. Now I want to move my y part to the other side, but let me first of all complete the square. Okay. So I add a 4 to both sides. Now, here's what I get. On this side, I get x minus 2 squared equals 8y plus 20 plus 4. See, I just moved this and this to the other side. Now let's see what we've got here. We've got x minus 2 squared equals 8y plus 24. Now really what I want is 4 times something. And I just want y to be to the coefficient of y, I just need to be 1. So whatever's in front of the y, I factor out. Like that. Now I can see easily what the vertex is. It's 2, -3. The directrix is y equals, and this 8 is 4 times 2. So the directrix is -3 minus 2. The focus is 2 comma -3 plus 2. Okay, so we've got 2 -3. We've got -5 down here for the directrix. And then up here, we've got 2 -1. So our parabola is something like that. So this is how we deal with parabolas opening up or down. All of these were opening up. Now let's look at the left and right one. It's of this form. And still we've got the vertex. And notice the y part is being squared. Therefore, it opens along the x-axis. In other words, to the right. Or if you've got a negative in there, to the left. We're just looking at those to the right here. So, and notice now, just like up here, everything, all the action was on the y's. If we wanted to find the directrix, we subtract it from the y. If we wanted to find the focus, we added or dealt with the y. Now down here, we're going to, all the action is going to be on the x. We're going to subtract from the x or add to the x. So let's look at this. This first one, we've got a vertex of 3. Whoops, got to be careful. The x coordinate is negative. We've got x minus 5, so that's a 5 here and a 3 here. Notice the y comes from the parentheses with the y. The x from the parentheses with the x. Okay, now the directrix is going to be x equals 5 minus 3. The focus is going to be 5 plus 3, and then a 3, this. Okay, so let's see what this looks like. We've got the point, the vertex, 5, 3. Okay, here's 5, 3. The directrix is x equals 2, and the focus is 8, 3. Whoops. So the whole thing looks something like this. Opens to the right. Okay, down here, the vertex, we've just got 0, 0. Okay, the directrix, well, it's going to be x minus, actually, it's going to be x equals just minus 2. Okay, so it's 0 minus 2, and the focus is going to be 0, whoops, 2, 0. So you start off, if you look at this one, you've got the origin here, that's the focus, the vertex. Over here, you've got x equals negative 2, and here's 2, 0. So it looks something like this. Okay, now let's look at this one here. We've got the vertex, which is negative 1. Look at me, I wrote it wrong. Negative 1, negative 2. Now, let me go ahead and rewrite this as y plus 2 squared equals 5, well, whoops, 4 times 5 fourths. Remember, we did the old trick where we divide and multiply by 4. So now, here's what we got. We've got the directrix. X equals negative 1 minus 5 fourths. The focus is negative 1 plus 5 fourths, negative 2. Okay, so here's the focus. The vertex. Here's the directrix over here. And here's the focus. Something like that. Okay, now we want to look at one where we complete the square. So now this time we group the y's together. Move everything else to the other side. I take half of this, the y part, and square it. Add that to both sides. Now let's see what we've got here. We've got y plus 3 squared equals 6x minus 12. Now, if I always want to factor out whatever's in front of the x so that I just have x to, just one x. So I get 6 times x minus 2. Now, that's not exactly what I want. I want 4 times something. It's got to be 4p. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do 6 over 4 times 4. Like that. Now, actually, you see this inside can be reduced a little bit. So I've got 4 times 3 halves. Right? So this part right here, I could just write as 3 halves. It doesn't matter as long as I got the 4 in front. So now let's look at the vertex. The vertex is going to be 2, -3. Okay. The directrix is going to be x equals 2 minus 3/2. And the focus is going to be 2 plus 3/2. Yeah, that's it. So here we go. We've got 2, -3. Over here is the directrix. Here's the focus. And it looks something like this. So this is kind of an overview of how we deal with these parabola conic sections. Now, notice all of these were either opening up or opening to the right. If you have one that's opening to the left, well, let's see how that would, or left or up or down. So let's look at this. Let's suppose that we have something like this. X minus 2 squared equals -4 times 3, y plus 7. Let's just suppose we have something like that. Now this is a parabola that's opening down. And the reason we say it's opening down is because of that negative right there. That tells us it's going to open down. So we have to be careful now. So our vertex is going to be 2, -7. Now, here's what we have. So this parabola is, we've got this 2, -7, but it's going to open down like this. It's going to open down. Let me make this a little better. Whoops. Here we go. So we've got 2, -7. Now we've got a focus in here and a directrix out here. So think about how we would get the directrix. We are going to have y equals -7 plus 3. See, because we have to go up from that vertex. The focus, we've got 2, -7 minus 3. See, because we have to go down. Like that. Okay? So we have to be careful. Now, let's suppose that we have y plus 4 squared equals -4 times 2. And y minus 3. Something like that. Okay? Now, this time, because we have the negative right there, we have a parabola that's going to open to the left. We've got a vertex, a focus, and a directrix. Okay, let's look at the vertex. The vertex is going to be 3, -4, like usual. Now the directrix. How do we get to the directrix? Well, the directrix is going to be x equals 3 plus 2. See? We're going to the right to get to the directrix. The focus is going to be 3 minus 2. See? Because from the focus, if it's opening to the left, we got to go like this. So you got to be careful if you've got those negatives in there. Okay, so you have to think about each one.